After several decades of struggle to define itself, America has prided itself on the adoption of middle-class values of hard work and harmony that pervade the American image. But what about the forgotten groups that are not covered by this set of bourgeois values? What is to become of them? What is to become of the working and poor class? It is easy to say that they make up the backbone of America, that they drive this nation forward, but what is to become of them when they are discriminated in the society that exists upon their hard and underappreciated labor? You see them on the street, you see them in your schools, and you see them in the grocery stores, but you also see them as dirty as you brush shoulders. You see them as freeloaders when they get free lunch in the cafeteria, and you roll your eyes and leer as they are forced to pay with food stamps, or God forbid, change. What about the children? Can you imagine the heartbreak, what it feels like to feel selfish, asking your parents for money, to say no to an outing with friends and never be invited again? The undeniable moment of disappointment when we force ourselves to accept that the working class is an inescapable abyss, to accept that school is not an option. Why bother to excel when earning a check is so much more important? How can we be judged if you have no idea what lack of privilege feels like, how the rolls of the eyes and the constant leering seeps into your psyche and leaves a permanent mark, how the tears of frustration roll down your cheeks as you make yourself believe success out of minimum wage is an illusion, how pathetic it is when your parents have to put you down because that is what their parents did to them in a vicious cycle that never stops. We are the children of the working class, and here are our stories.
My name is Erin, and this is my story. For as long as I can remember, my family has always struggled with money, but we were always happy and we always had each other. This story takes place in the city of Bangor, Maine. I was 11 years old and things were rough. It was the middle of winter, and Maine winters are extremely cold, when our water boiler broke, which meant we had no hot water at our house. Of course, we had no money to fix it, and around the same time, our car broke down. So our only mode of transportation was the city bus. With no car and no hot water, we were already in a bad place. And to add on to that, my mother found out that she had breast cancer. So there we were, a family of 5 with no hot water, no car, and a mother who had just had major surgery. In these situations, there is not much you can do but keep your head up and take one step at a time. Every day after school, we would go to the local YMCA to take our showers, and we would ride the bus to the grocery store. My brother and I would walk to school in the sometimes sub-zero weather, having to run now and then to get our body temperatures up. It was evident that everyone I knew in that small community knew what my family was going through. The looks of disapproval and the whispers behind my back are not something I will forget easily. Although this was probably the hardest time in my life, I would not change anything about that time because of the lessons it taught me about hardship and the things that need to change about poverty.
My name is Martina Acosta. I'm a Mexican immigrant from the Mexican state of Sinaloa, and I've lived in the U.S. for most of my life. Living as a member of the working class has driven me for most of my life, but it has made me feel so exceptionally vile at some point in my life. One of my worst moments, something that I experience every day, has been how selfish I feel by pursuing academics. I'm a studious individual in pursuit of the valedictorian spot for my class. The situation hinders me from being able to successfully pursue a job outside of school because of how it will interfere with academics and schoolwork. My parents tell me every day how it's okay that I focus on school because it will only let me pursue a better job in my future. But I can never shake this feeling that I'm acting as a hindrance to the family by not contributing, not bringing a check every single week. I fear that every single time I ask for $1, I might get yelled at or slapped in the face for my selfishness. My father even shed tears one time when I told him I was too afraid to ask him for money. I just wanted to buy some Subway. If my parents don't tell me that I'm selfish, then my brother sure does. He didn't go to college right after high school. He just wanted to get a job so like he could be independent. And he tells me every single day, "Oh, why aren't you getting a job? Why aren't you contributing to the family?" And I can't help but be hurt by that. I tell him every day, "Oh, just screw off. I'm trying to do something for myself." But it really, really stings sometimes not contributing to the family. And it really, really does stick with me. Through the telling of our stories, we only ask where our empathy is. We deserve it. How can we live in a society where the rich man does not understand the struggle of the working man, where a child of privilege cannot comprehend the distress of asking for money, receive free lunch, or pay for a candy bar in pennies, nickels, and dimes, where a working class child has to go to bed with the reality that higher education is unobtainable? That is no harmonious society. We will not stand by as we see our country remain in a state of deplorable and ignorant stagnation. We children of work will stand. We will stand for our class and every child that belongs to it. No potential can be wasted. We refuse to be anything below the backbone of this country. We deserve the recognition, the empathy, the opportunity. We will never lose hope because at that point we have already defeated ourselves. We take full advantage of the right to fight for ourselves and those who cannot muster the heart to do so themselves. We are representatives, delegates, and members of the working class. We will perpetuate their struggle because it is our own. We will stand and we will not sit.